Peace and blessings, family. This is your boy Gerald. It is the 21st of August 2017. How is everybody doing? It is the beginning of your week. It's Monday. That's right. A new week, a new chapter, another victory. Because we're talking about your life. And your life is priceless, right? So you know you can expect for more distractions. You can expect more of pushback and expect for more clarity. Why? We're talking about you, and you are priceless. So it's bright and early in the morning here. I got my coffee. Cheers. While there'll be hundreds and hundreds of thousands of videos about today, the symbolism of today in regards to the lunar eclipse. For those who follow the astrological aspect of the solar and lunar eclipse that is taking place in August, there's a lot of focus on today, and there are going to be many people looking up. But what I find very funny is while they're looking up, many will choose not to look down and look at their feet. Many will choose to not look forward. And unfortunately, there'll be many that will find themselves still looking back. Who am I talking to? Because you do understand that while you're looking for symbolism, the greatest symbol is your existence. Because the fact of the matter is, this is another moment in time, another validation for your direction, another check off when it comes to your legacy. You are meant to be a part of this season. That's right, it's a new season, an ushering of change. It just depends on if you want to embrace it. Now, I understand some will let this go in one ear, come out the next, because the reality is you got responsibilities. You got things you got to do. You have things you must bring to a close because I know a lot of you, just the energy of August has been very trying for you now, hasn't it? You've seen a lot of things that may have been dormant, a lot of things that were ever so present has demanded your attention. A lot of things that you were not aware of have been brought for review, and it is forcing you to make a decision. So you can't really focus on what's important to you if you're looking up. I kind of think it's kind of funny because, you know, there are a lot of people that are going to make a lot of money off of this event. There's a lot of people that had been able to benefit off of impulsive decision making because as you see now there are those that are running to and fro to get those 1945 3D framed glasses. Ain't it funny? These are the same type of framing that they were using back in the 50s and the 60s when you went to a movie theater. How is it in 2017 they have yet to modify or come up with some technology that is still made out of cardboard? Now, this is not shade. This is no, because this is really about supply and demand. But what I find ironic is just for a moment, just for a moment, the United States is going to be still. There are going to be people that are going to be frozen in time just for a moment. Now, this is not shade. Don't get me wrong, because I know from the scientific aspect, this is an occurrence that only, as stated, happened. The last time was almost a century ago. I got that. I truly got that. But what happens afterwards? You ever thought about that? What is going to occur before that? Does that have any weight to you? Because it should. I, I think that if you look at today's eclipse, should be the the end statement, the exclamation point, the period to whatever fear that you had. And the real question should be, are you going to allow whatever you're going through to be carried on after that event? Now, listen, some of our adversities only can be solved not by physical application or emotional validation. It is only remedied by you first acknowledging its presence. When you decide to acknowledge whatever it is, that's when critical thinking can take place. That's when the reshaping of priority or value will be summoned, or simple the importance through priority of your day. So you got to make a decision. Do you want to hold on to your pride? Because you know there's a lot of people that no matter what you tell them, no matter what they've gone through, no matter what they've seen, they won't change the course. They just won't. But guess what? That's not your guilt. Who am I talking to? You feel a certain kind of way because they don't want to grow. Let me explain something to you. You can't and will not have the ability to make anyone do what they don't want to do. Did you hear me? Let me explain that again. You cannot, nor do you have the ability to make anyone do what they don't want to do. So if you're accepting an excuse, or if you're condoning a certain behavior, how about a position? You're just as guilty. You know, I know the media wanted to throw out the whole thing with the statues the last 2 weeks of silence is condoned. They tried to push that, but you didn't hear nobody echoing, what about truth? What does your truth stand for? Or are you just standing still? Sometimes the only thing you're required to do is be aware. That's all that is needed. Because guess what? Because you know I'm going to go there, right? God has echoed time and time again. He will give you and supply you everything you need, but He will not supply you nothing unless you ask for it first. So you're going to have to make a decision. If you don't like your finances the way they are, what is your plan of attack? Is that plan of attack short term or overall? If you wish to be in a relationship of any kind, how does that reflect to your state of being, your state of mind? Does it validate it? Because if it doesn't, guess what? You've already lost. You've lost that opportunity. You've actually ushered in another lesson, which will ultimately benefit you, but will cost you in time. And see, a lot of people have this perception that if you focus on you, you are shallow, you are selfish. But in actuality, it is being selfless because you're trying to master yourself, which is your greatest level, your greatest lesson ever. Don't believe me? Okay. Why is it that the people connecting to you, look at them. They're all weary now, aren't they? They're aging before you. They're having medical issues. They are having these setbacks. All these things that happen around you. You know why? So you can take note. So you can learn from what is being shown freely so that that wisdom can be embraced. That's how wisdom is shared, family. It is by way of spiritual insight. That's why when you see something occur and it directly doesn't affect you, but indirectly you feel it, you do know that's your spirit, right? You do know that. Come on now, you still don't believe you have a spirit. Well, why are you feeling that disappointment from them? Who am I talking to? That's your spirit. That's the real you. So you can make a, you could choose the front. We used to call that, was you front. You can choose to teach yourself by feeling less than, and you will continue to perpetuate the cycle. Because guess what? Not to sound crass, there are people that have access to you, maybe by blood and bone. That means your family and people that you have connected through, may it through association through work or community connections that don't want you to see it. And they're using that as their advantage because they see what triggers you. They pretty much have studied you to a point that they know that you're going to react a certain way. They also know your breaking points too. And what's sad about it is, willingly, you are giving your power away by default. Now, let me tell you something. The hardest thing that you're going to have to go through is trying to possess something that is not rightfully yours. Did you hear me? The hardest thing you're going to go through is trying to possess or obtain something that is not rightfully yours. You know why? Because wisdom is on the other side of what's rightfully yours. And that is what actually is needed so you can understand what value is required of that possession. Why won't you apply that to yourself? Why are you still listening to rhetoric from people that are not growing? They have told you, this is who I am. If you don't like it, well, you know what you can do. You've heard this, haven't you? I know you have. I know that feeling you're feeling, that fear you're feeling right now, because I'm talking to your spirit right now. Listen, there's no badge of honor when it comes to pain. Pain is somber. Pain is really indirect truth because it lets you know exactly where you stand. So, I always mention get comfort, find comfort in your discomfort. Because if you truly do that, you'll see growth on the other side of that. You have to come to the terms of this. They can't go where you're going. They can't. Mm-mm. Not in the condition and the state of mind that they're in. They can't. So do you actually think that God is going to allow your blessings to be birthed out to you and they're connected to you? No, he's not doing that. So you got to make a decision. You want to keep towing that line or you want to embrace your own journey? The choice is yours. Some of y'all may be thinking that your finances are in a charcoal right now. You don't understand. No matter what you're doing, you still can't get ahead. Why? It's because you got a soul tie connected to you. I'm not making light of that. You basically reaping through connection the effects of how they feel. And that connection is so strong, it got you feeling stuck. Well, Joe, I want to be here, but I can't be here. But remember where you were before they came into your life? Why are you overlooking that? Hmm? Or here you go. You've actually convinced yourself this is the best it's ever going to be, and you're suffering in silence. It is robbing you of your joy. That's your pride. So when you finally get to the point where you want to stop playing and come back home to the little boy or little girl that lives inside you, still, because you can't fool you. You may have the gift of gab, but guess what? Even real recognizes real. Even the broken of the broken can see where you are because they once were there too, but they chose not to do anything about it. So while they're looking up, you need to be looking forward. And oh yes, somebody's making fist hand over fist today. Somebody's laughing like, look, monkey see, monkey do. Be vigilant in your day, family. Because I can say this from a spiritual standpoint, that eclipse is the ushering of a door, a spiritual door. And some will be on the other side, and some will go forth. and their life will drastically change. And it is. Some will have revelations and validations that they long for a very long time. You thought that day wasn't coming, but it is. It is. Your turnaround is coming this week. You're going to finally be able to exhale. You're going to finally be able to be comfortable in your own skin. You're going to finally see your worth because you realize that you were fooling yourself the whole time. Why am I listening to her? She ain't doing nothing with her life. Why am I paying attention to him? He ain't doing nothing. Look at the track record. What you deserve is to be happy. What you deserve is to be prosperous. What you deserve is to honor your legacy. But you can't do none of that until you decide to learn you. Maybe this is the moment that you'll finally stop running from that pain you've been holding half your life. Because you got a lot of people, that's what they use. They say, well, I didn't have this. I went through that. And because I went through that, this is my mindset. And if you don't like it, that is nothing but that little boy or little girl yelling for attention. Because what they're saying through bad behavior is, I need somebody to rescue me. I need someone to acknowledge that I exist. Get it through normal conversation. I'll 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 just do it through bad behavior. Don't run from you anymore. Stop running. Because when you stop running, you can start growing. Let me tell you what, there are plenty of hypocrites out in this planet. And 50% of them will believe their own denial. It just depends on which side you decide to see it from. But I'm going to tell you what I've always told you. You're priceless. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to live your life. And at the minimum, it's about your legacy. So, yes, just for a moment, United States people are going to be focused like earth, wind, and fire. Keep your head to the sky. No, you need to keep your eyes forward and keep walking into your destiny. Because as long as you continue to do that, your blessings are one step closer than you think. God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. You realize there are going to be fools out there selling bootlegs and t-shirts. I'm not mad at the entrepreneurship aspect, but guess what? Your time is your time. And listen, if you're out and about and you're driving during that period of time where you're at, please be safe because you're going to have people, like I said, too busy doing this instead of doing that. And you do have people that want to see you the same way you left out your home, protected, blessed, because you're worth it. Have a great week, family. Take care.